Okay, students are going to work with Adobe Ideas today, and they're going to create a kind of collage on Adobe Ideas, learning how to use the layers and also using the drawing function. So what we're going to do is the students are going to use a drawing that they already did. It was an observational drawing of fish. So I'm going to go into the photo library and we're going to create a new piece of artwork, and we're going to go into our camera roll, and the students are going to have already taken a picture of their piece of artwork that they're going to use today to help them. My students did observational drawing of fish, and that's what we're going to use, and I'm just going to size it so that it's fitting onto our page here. Now I've got the picture that we're going to use, and the first thing we have to do is we have to use the drawing or the sketching feature in Adobe, and we're going to sketch and trace this fish. So what we're going to do, if we go into our layers here, we can see that we have our photo layer, and now we're going to work on our draw layer. And we're going to use, I recommend using the pencil for this. We're going to use a pencil. We're going to change the color where we want black, so we're going to go use black for our pencil. And I think we're going to keep it, our opacity level, up to 100. Okay, so we're going to outline and sketch our fish that we've taken our photo of, and we're just going to go along here, and any line that we see that we've drawn already we're going to trace over. Now I'm going to work fairly quickly here, just so that you don't spend too long watching this video. For my students that are watching this video, you are going to take your time and make sure you do this really nice and neat. I've got to get the fins up here, and we got to add some lines down there, lines in here. Fill that in a bit. Good. Fill that in. Okay. If I want to go and check and see how I've done outlining, I can turn off my photo layer and I can check and see if my fish is looking the way I want to look. If I'm happy with the way my fish looks, I'm now going to go and work on filling in my fish and adding some color. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to, I think I'm going to stay with my pencil, but I'm going to change the color, and I want my fish, if we saw the original photo layer, let's go put our photo back on. We see that's kind of gray. So I'm going to actually grab the eyedropper. I like this eyedropper feature, and it can match the color ink that we actually use in our observational drawing, and it's matched it here, and I'm happy with that color. So I've matched the color up exactly how I want it. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to color my fish that color. Now I want the size of my pencil bigger, just so I can fill in a little bit easier. So let's see how that size is. That's pretty good. Oh, I'm going to undo that because I want it a little bit, I want to be able to see those lines that I did. There we go. I like that better. So we're going to fill in our fish. I didn't use a different layer for my color because we're going to use the layers to do our collage. We are going to build many layers of fish in a few moments after we get our fish all colored in here. If I go outside the line, that's okay because I can go back and just touch that up with an eraser if I want. Let me move that back. Okay. So I've got my fish colored in. I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab my eraser. Just change the size just a bit, and I'm just going to erase. Touch that up right there. I went outside the lines. Touch up right here. Just went outside the lines. You can see I'm using my homemade stylus to work with today. If you don't have a stylus, you can make a stylus very easily by using a shell of a pen, a Q-tip that's wet, and wrapping it in tinfoil. Okay, I have my fish drawn now. Now we're going to work with the layer feature. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to duplicate my layer. You can see now I have 2 fish here. You can't see the 2 fish yet. We're going to go and we're going to use the hand and we're going to grab. Turn on. I'm going to work with that layer. Oh. I'm going to grab my hand. I'm going to, there we go. And now I've got 2 fish. And I'm working with the 1 layer. Now I'm going to make that fish smaller. And I'm going to start playing around and creating my collage. I think I'll have that there. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to touch this one again. And I'm going to duplicate it. That's my duplication button. I have to go back and grab that. That allows me to grab it and move it. And let's make him smaller here. Where do we want to put him? Sometimes I like having the perspective, not always all on the page. And let's go on this layer. And we're going to duplicate it again. And then we'll grab the hand. And we just keep working. I'm going to have that one right there. Why not? Going off the page. Now we're going to go back to that layer and I'm going to add another layer. We just keep adding layers. I've got to go back and grab that. And there we go. I'm going to have a medium-sized one right in there. And I think I want one more small one. I'm going to duplicate that layer. That was this one. I'm going to add another small one there. So now, let's close that and see how that looks. There. So now I've created a collage with the original drawing that I had. If I want, I can go back in and add another layer. I'm going to add a layer to it. And on that layer, you see I didn't duplicate it, I added a layer. And now I'm going to go into this layer and I'm going to add some color on that. And I want that layer to be at the bottom. So I'm eventually going to move it to the bottom. I'm going to make sure that's there. I want this. Don't want my color layer to be too solid. So, and I'm going to have it blue. Blue for the swimming in the ocean. Let's see. So I'm going to play around with the colors here, moving them until I'm happy with the shade that I have. Well, that looks like a nice ocean going blue. Why not? Okay, so I'm on my layer. Double check that. I'm on my draw layer. And I'm just going to put my blue all over my page. And I'm going to fill that space in. And I'm going to move this layer actually once I'm finished. I'm going to move it to the very bottom of all my layers and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm filling that in. Filling in my background. I could use a couple of different colors of blues if I had more time. Play around with the colors. I would add maybe more fish. I could even make one of the fish a different color just for fun. Okay, I have my blue. Now I'm going to show you how to change the layers. I want that layer to be on the very, very bottom. So now I've moved it to the very bottom. This is on the top, and all these layers are layered on top. Let's take a look. There we go. There's our collage of our fish. We go up here, we're going to name it. Let's name it Fish Collage. And we're done. Fantastic. Here's one that I was playing around with. And you can see that I made one fish a different color just to stand out. So just have fun with that. Use your original sketch or drawing of the fish, outline it, and then use the layer function to create many, many different fish. Different sizes, different shapes, different locations. Great. Have fun with that. Thanks.